Is the European Union RoHS directive still valid in the United Kingdom? Since Brexit, there are many manufacturers and importers that are confused about how RoHS applies in the UK. Some might think that the European Union RoHS directive is no longer applicable and there are no restrictions for substances. Others would say that the CE marking is no longer accepted. In this video, I will explain you what happens with RoHS in the UK after Brexit and what's the difference in the rules for Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Before Brexit, the situation was quite simple because the United Kingdom was just one of the members of the European Union. That means that the EU law would apply to the UK directly. But after Brexit, that is after the UK left the European Union, all the European Union legal framework stopped applying to it automatically. But that doesn't mean that RoHS disappeared from the UK. Instead, it was retained as part of the UK legal system. But from that moment, the UK started operating its own version of the RoHS directive that was separate from the European Union version. The situation for Northern Ireland, even when it's part of the United Kingdom, is different. In order to keep an open border with the Republic of Ireland, that is part of the European Union, it was decided that Northern Ireland would follow the EU rules regarding product legislation. And this includes the CE marking framework and, of course, the RoHS directive. Now, here's a very important update that you have to know, and that is that the UK government decided to implement indefinite recognition for CE marked products, for most of them, including those that are in the scope of the RoHS directive. So what does this mean in practical terms? It means that manufacturers and importers of electrical and electronic products that bear the CE mark can also enter the whole UK market, not only in Northern Ireland. Specifically for RoHS, the UK takes a two-steps approach. If the product complies with the maximum concentration values of the restricted substances in the European Union RoHS directive, then the CE mark of that product is recognized by UK. But if the product relies on an exemption of the RoHS directive for the European Union, the UK will only recognize that exception if there is an equivalent exception in the Great Britain RoHS rules. I hope this video is valuable to you, and if you want to keep learning more, feel free to visit our site, rohsornot.com. See you in the next video.